The gender pay gap, it's real. It's been with us for hundreds of years. In South Australia, I think that the pay gap difference between men and women is about 9.2%. So women are going to work for 90% effectively of what a man does every day of the week.
The gender pay gap is the difference in the average pay of women against men across different sectors, across different workforces, and yes, the average difference.
People don't really understand that equal pay and gender pay gaps are two really different things.
Everyone gets paid for doing the same work, certainly in my industry, because it's basically you get paid the award rate, but it changes when they get to leadership roles, when you negotiate that pay. And where do women start in some of those professional roles?
Narrowing the gender pay gap isn't about punishing anybody. It's about removing obstacles that everyone is experiencing. If we make workplaces better for women, we are actually just making better workplaces. And so correcting some of these gender inequalities, we actually just create a lot more freedom for people to do what they enjoy and be paid fairly for it.
I don't think we want to stop women working in traditionally female-dominated industries. Diversity across different industries makes those industries richer. Why do we put more monetary value on some sectors over other sectors? It's a responsibility for all of us to question and to see what we can do in our own spaces to change that.
It's learned behaviour, I think, to undervalue themselves and not sell themselves. Management and boards should be identifying women and giving them the training opportunities and speaking to them about, you know, what value they have in their workplace and encouraging them to apply and, you know, giving them the opportunities.
We know that as people advance in an organization, the criteria for selection and the criteria for good performance just become more subjective. So there's more opportunity for managerial discretion to enter in.
Well, certainly in my experience as well, is a lot of men have gone into those senior roles who then become basically the recruiters, who then, I think we need to start to talk about unconscious bias, who have a particular view about who is best for that job. And we all know we come with those biases, our own value set. And I think women also view themselves as not having the skills to do it, whereas I think after many years, a lot of men feel more confident that even if they had not the whole lot of skills, but they could probably kind of stretch and do what they need to do. So we've got to unpack what we're talking about when it comes to the confidence in going for some of those jobs where there is more subjectivity. People choose to raise a family. That should actually be the responsibility of just the woman. It's a choice that we need to give the flexibility for the family unit to decide and for workplaces to provide that flexibility so no one is disadvantaged around that.
A big driver of domestic and family violence, whether it's called domestic violence, family violence, intimate partner homicide, ultimately is gender inequality. Kind of jibes to women, about women, making fun of women, stereotypes of women, that all happens under the surface. And then when we go a bit above the water level, we think about violence against women. And so all of that gender inequality, including things like the gender pay gap and inequality at work, leads to situations of domestic and family violence.
It exists.
Yeah.
That's what we're worried about.
Yeah.
It still exists. It still means that women are valued less, have less opportunities and get paid less.
Yeah. The moment women we talked about the pay gap that starts in their professional life, you then take a break out of raising children, their pay goes down again. And then if they continue to go flexibly, then there's probably more pay that's lost. Women generally, if they do that caring, are punished over a very long period of time. When we see them retire, they have about $2 million less than men in that retirement.
When you think about it as being a human rights issue, I don't understand it at all. Women are not worth less than men, so we should be paid the same.
Absolutely.
Once you start working on this dimension, you're going to make the workplace better for everyone.
And actually, we need to. I don't think it's going to, we won't survive it if we don't change it for the next generation.
It is early days. A lot of support needs to be given to businesses to help give them those skills.
If you're in the CEO's role, you can think about how could I reconstruct the organisation so that it didn't have that kind of gap.
One of the key things is education and talking about it. That's how we start to see some societal shifts.
We can get caught up in thinking, hey, I'm not part of the problem. So if you're not part of the problem, that's fine, but you can be part of the solution.